Hello and welcome to the Passion Show. My name is Phil and joining me today is my co-host Kyle.
Hello.
Right?
So basically this show, it's going to be about our passions, what we love, and each week we're going to have guests on to talk about what they love. But for our first week, we're just going to have us two, and we're going to discuss what we love. It can be anything from movies, TV shows, to animals, to anything at all really. So yeah, let's get into it.
So this week we're talking about the MCU, otherwise known as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So what that is basically just it's Marvel's series of films
TV shows.
and TV shows which connects all their characters, and it's a large expanding universe. The events of one film play into the events of others, and there's real consequences. I think we'll just start off by saying how we sort of got into it, essentially. So do you want to do you have any sort of story relating to that? Do you know?
Yeah. So I got into it when I was about 8, and I rented Iron Man from Blockbusters when I was at a sleepover at my uncle's with my cousin.
I love how perfectly that dates it as well. Sorry, from Blockbuster.
And we made a couch fort, and wasn't really that into it at that point. Didn't get into it.
I don't know what
until
you mean about not being that buzzed about it just yet.
Yeah, at that time it was just a blockbuster movie.
It was just a film.
Yeah.
I think that shows a difference kind of between normal superhero films and the MCU now.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you go see a MCU film because it is with the others.
So how did you get into it?
I think I mainly got into it sort of when the Avengers came out, because I'd seen all the others and I liked them, but again, they were just films. Do you know what I mean? And I was sort of interested in how they connected them. But I remember when the Avengers came out, I was sitting in school and we were just watching the trailer over and over again, trying to guess characters and stuff, because there was new characters that we'd never seen before.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so around that time, I only really knew Hulk and Iron Man.
Yeah. Even Captain America was a bit obscure because he never had proper films, had he?
Not really, no.
So I think what we should try and do is sort of give people a guide of how they can get into it. If you want to watch Avengers Endgame in April, how can you get into this series to the point where you love it?
Because it can be really intimidating.
A lot of people feel sort of pressured, don't they, by the amount of films.
It's a bit fatigued. Our aim is to whittle it down into a smaller amount of movies than 19 that you can watch.
We'll try and explain it as best as possible and see where we can go from there. So if you had to sort of give a rough outline of films that are necessary to get to Avengers Endgame, where would you sort of start?
Right, so I know you're going to disagree with me on this, but I'd say Iron Man's probably the best bet to start with.
I understand why you're saying it, but I don't think in terms of story and the overarching story it's really necessary.
I think it definitely is, it's the dead beginning. It's straight off, it sets all the themes that come throughout.
Just to backtrack as well, there's almost there's about 19 films as of Infinity War, and then with, I think Avengers Endgame's going to be the 22nd, is it? Something like that.
22nd, yep.
So obviously you don't want to watch 22 films, 21 films, so I'm trying to whittle it down as much as possible, so I don't know if you need Iron Man. I know it introduces him and it starts it.
My point is, the entire of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the story of Tony Stark.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
The start of his story.
So should we put that on hold for a sec?
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll go to Avengers.
Yeah, the Avengers is definite.
So I don't think
one
you need.
Of the beginnings.
I don't think you need any other of the
most
origin
of them are
films.
boring anyway.
Yeah, you don't need Captain America. You don't need Thor. You don't need Iron Man 2. You can just get straight into it. Also, if you've got a pen handy, you might want to note this down, because this is some real important stuff. So we'll go from Avengers, and now you're into what Marvel calls Phase 2, which is the start of their second installment of films. A lot of sequels, basically. The next film that you'd probably go into is probably Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Because that introduces the whole space aspect.
Guardians of the Galaxy, it's mental. This is going to sound
insane. I'm not looking forward to describing it. I always think that, because people
you
know
want
about
me to
it now.
describe it?
You can give it a go. It's really daunting.
So it's about a guy from the 80s who gets abducted by aliens when his mum dies.
So this is already people are starting to be a bit okay. So.
And the guy's Chris Pratt, and he's really arrogant and cocky. But the only culture that he knows is 80s culture, so all the music in the movies is 80s music. He joins a team of a mutant raccoon and a tree alien who can only say,
I'm Groot.
They Batista plays another alien called Drax, who has no common sense.
He's basically just a moron who punches people really hard.
Like, he takes everything literally. And then there's Gamora, who's like some assassin.
Fatale, yeah.
Yeah.
So Guardians does it sets up like the sort of cosmic aspect of the universe, and I think that's really important. And it doesn't seem like much when you're first watching it, but as you get through the films and you get closer to Infinity War and Endgame, that's when it really matters.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's a side story to what's going on Earth in these movies.
Then it sort of connects.
Yeah.
So I think after Guardians, you can go straight to Age of Ultron, can't you? Unless you need Winter Soldier.
You'll need Ant-Man for Endgame because of...
I think you only need the second one.
Oh, yeah, but you need to know who he is for the second one. You can't just watch a second movie.
But he gets introduced in Captain America 3, Civil War. He gets introduced.
That's true. That is a good point.
So that's what I mean by trying to whittle them down. So we can cut Ant-Man.
So cross Ant-Man off your list that you've definitely written.
Yeah. So far we've got maybe Iron Man, Avengers, then Guardians of the Galaxy, and then we're going to go to Avengers 2, Age of Ultron.
Yeah, okay.
So after that, I think we can jump to Civil War.
I think we need Doctor Strange, you know. I think we do need Doctor Strange. Because it's a lot to take in.
I guess it introduces the sort of magical sorcerer aspect to it. I could give you that one, I guess. So if you want to write down Doctor Strange,
but
scribble it down.
Definitely Civil War. You need Civil War.
So Civil War sets up a lot of the tensions and
Civil War's one of the best
thematic
movies
threads.
anyway.
It's brilliant, yeah. Directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, who also did
Spider-Man's
Infinity
first
War.
appearance.
Yeah, introduces Spider-Man, introduces Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther, I forgot. That was his first appearance.
You kind of forget how essential Civil War is. It's really like, it changes the whole universe. Yeah. So definitely go for Civil War.
Definitely, yeah.
I think after that, you can probably jump to Thor Ragnarok.
The Oscars would disagree with you on that. I think you need some Black Panther.
I don't think so, because he's introduced in Civil War. Everything you need for him's in Civil War.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that. It's the same with Ant-Man, like what you were saying. And the same with Spider-Man.
You don't need Spider-Man Homecoming. Even though it's a great film, I don't think you need it. There's a lot of films like that with Marvel, so like a lot of them are sort of inconsequential, sort of just fun films, but some of them really matter.
I don't like Thor Ragnarok as much as you do. I know you love it.
It's brilliant.
I think you definitely do need to watch it though. Definitely. It's just the humour's really cringe.
I don't understand that, because it's directed by Taika Waititi, who's like a genius. He's like one of the funniest guy going, and it really blows me head off that you don't find it funny.
Sorry. So it just doesn't click with me.
I think we can go from Thor Ragnarok. Also, you don't need the first two Thor films. We'll go straight into Ragnarok.
No, don't watch the first two.
So if you wrote them two down, get them off your list. Just throw your paper away and start a new list. So I think we've pretty much got it. I don't know if I'm giving you Iron Man. Oh, we'll do Iron Man to give people some more stuff to watch. So your list should be Iron Man, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Age of Ultron. Then you can go to Civil War, Doctor Strange, and then Thor Ragnarok. And that should set you up for Infinity War. And do you think you can go straight from Infinity War to Endgame? We don't know yet.
Nah, I think you'll definitely need to watch Captain Marvel. That's not out as of the recording of this.
Yeah, so Captain Marvel's coming out soon.
And I think you definitely need to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp as well. Even though it's not that great of a movie.
It does set up some stuff, so I think you could go for a bit of Ant-Man and the Wasp. But it's not that great, really. It's just, it has some concepts in it that we think will be used in Avengers Endgame.
And while you're watching all that, you need to watch every single episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Alright, well, that can be a whole new episode altogether, because I could talk about that for so long, for multiple different reasons. But I think we can sort of
we've got a definitive list. Yeah.
So, that'll wrap it up for this week. If you have any passions, anything you're passionate about that you love, send it to us, comment it, and then it could be a topic for next week. You could even come on the podcast if you're lucky enough.
Definitely.
Because so what we want to do is just talk about as many random things as possible. We started off with Marvel because we're both into it.
Next week we're doing K-pop with Vicky.
Yeah, so our friend Vicky is coming on to tell us about K-pop because we know nothing about it, but I'm sort of fascinated.
Loads of other people lined up.
Yep. So even if you're not interested in a topic, you can learn something.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I think we're onto something with this.
Yeah. So I think we can sort of wrap it up there. So thanks for listening, and
have a great day.
Yeah. See you next week.